Hello there. Good evening on this Thursday, February the 15th. It is 5:30, just past 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time here in the wonderful state of Georgia in these amazing, incredible, awesome United States of America where I am living in. And I am glad that you're joining tonight. We are going to be talking about and reacting to the Criterion Collection May 2024 titles. So just around noon, or actually slightly before noon, around maybe 11:57 in the morning today, Eastern Time, Criterion announced their May 2024 titles on their website. So we have 5 releases coming out in the month of May, covering each Blu-ray Tuesday of the month of May. So it's very exciting. I'm looking forward to checking out these films. It's another month of discovery for me. And so wanted to come on here, share some reactions. I'm still processing and learning more about these films. Some of you have probably seen a lot of these movies. And so I'm really looking forward to hearing what you think about these movies and just sharing my own thoughts. And got some titles here from the collection that relate to some of these titles and sort of tying it all in. We'll talk a little bit about what could be a potential Criterion flash sale coming up that a lot of people are excited about the possibility of it. Of course, I have not heard any official announcement of that yet, but we have a feeling that it could potentially be on the horizon. And just whatever else you're into in the world of physical media, movies, we'll talk about it. On the other side of this, we'll get into it and we will definitely share our reactions to these new Criterion Collection, these exciting Criterion Collection announcements. Let's go. Okay, the Criterion Collection announced 5 new releases for the month of May 2024. And these are some pretty exciting releases. I always like to sort of take a step back and take a look at, okay, what is going on with these releases? What are the general composition and makeup of these titles? And I generally like to see a nice eclectic mix of films. And the reason for that is, there's no one film or one type of movie or one type of genre or a one release that's going to make everybody happy. There's some releases that some people are going to be through the moon excited about, and then others won't care about it all. And so I like to see a nice eclectic mix because generally when you see that, there's usually going to be something for everybody in that. Not all the time, but usually there's something for everybody. And I think this particular slate falls in that category. So we have 5 releases for May 2024. Every Blu-ray Tuesday is covered for the month: the 7th, the 14th, the 21st, and the 28th, the day after Memorial Day here in the US. We have a 4K upgrade of an existing spine number in the Criterion Collection. So this is Criterion updating an existing spine number. Actually, one of their early spine numbers is getting a 4K release. And I think this particular spine number, y'all will have to correct me if I'm wrong. I think this might be a DVD. I don't know if this spine number ever got a Blu-ray, but y'all double check me on that. So we're getting a 4K title. It's an upgrade with Spine 38 in the collection. And we're getting 2 new filmmaking voices in the collection. So I always love to see not only titles coming out from directors who already have works in the collection, but to see new filmmaking voices coming into the collection is always really exciting for me because I get to discover new directors, filmmakers that I've never been exposed to their work. And so this will be a great opportunity to get exposed to more filmmaking voices. Japan, the United States, Senegal, and the United Kingdom are represented in these titles. As far as over the decades, we have a couple of titles from Yasuhiro Ozu, one of the greatest directors of all time. There's a film from 1934 from him in 1959. So we got the 30s covered, the 50s covered from Ozu. We have a film from 1960 from the United Kingdom. We have 3 films from the 1970s from African director Osman Sembène. That is very exciting. We have a couple of films we have a film from the year 2000, so just over 20 years ago, starring Michelle Rodriguez. And we have a very recent film from 2023, Anatomy of a Fall, that a lot of people are excited about, and I've heard great things about this title. So we're getting spans of decades, multiple countries, different genres, different filmmaking voices. There should be something for everybody in this slate. So we're going to jump into it. But before we do, let's check out the comments and let's see who is out there. So we have Adrian James. How are you doing, Adrian? Hope you're doing well across the pond. It is still Tuesday where you are. Oh, by the way, hope you all had a wonderful Valentine's Day. I had a nice Valentine's Day. You know, I try to work out as much as I can during the week. And so I have to sort of pace myself with stuff like this, you know, but I do appreciate it. Nice Hershey's chocolate. I like milk chocolate. I also like the flavor of dark chocolate. I think dark chocolate is also very, very nice. Hey, everyone, says internet user. Hello to you as well. Scream 7. Hello, James. What's your favorite scary movie? Ooh, I would have to say probably either The Shining, that scene where the little boy is riding his big wheel down the hallway of the hotel, and he turns a corner, and there are these two creepy, spooky looking girls, you know, who are ghosts in the hallway. One of the scariest scenes of all time for me. It's either that or maybe Carrie. But what's your favorite scary movie, Scream 7? Let's see. Evening, James, and friendship. Hello, Jordan. Hope you're doing well. Evening to you as well. Evening, James and friends. Yes, indeed. Hey, James, says John Doe. Hello, John Doe. Hello, Adrian, to everyone. John Joe saying hello. People saying hello to one another. Any chocolate is good chocolate, in my opinion. Hey, no argument there. Now we have Jordo saying, I was close to buying the Studio Canal release of Peeping Tom a week ago, but held off, just feeling like a Criterion was coming. Well, you had a right feeling. And not even 7 days later, sure enough, you were on the money. James, have you done your 70s list? Have I done my oh, you mean the Tim Talks Talkies challenge? I have not. I will need to give some thought to that. If I do, I'm not sure if I would do a full 25. If I did it, it would probably be a top 10. But there are some absolute bangers from the 1970s. It's probably my favorite decade of cinema. All right. So, folks, you guys came here to talk about the Criterion Collection titles for the month of May that are coming out. So let's not waste any time here. Let's just dive into it. Let's just do a screen share here and let's go to the Criterion site and let's see what is coming. What is coming our way in the month of May of 2024. Of course, we see this wonderful collage that we love to see, just of these nice titles and the nice covers. I'm really digging these covers that are coming out for this month. I mean, I want to know in the comment section what slip here or what cover art do you favor the most? Which is your favorite cover art of the month of May for Criterion? Let me know in the comment section. Of course, here's a scene from Train Spotting starring Ewan McGregor, which is an excellent release from the Criterion Collection. I say excellent based upon the movie being very good. I think the supplements are very good. I think the soundtrack is excellent. I think the 4K presentation is solid. The audio is very good. So all those elements are really good on this 4K release. The only complaint that a number of people have had is on this packaging. You know, this strange digibook packaging. Now, I'll be honest with you. I didn't have a huge problem with it. I just kind of felt like, you know, if they're going to go digipack, then just go for the full digipack, you know, package that they've done for other releases. This one is a little bit funky. You have to be, if you do get this, be very careful in terms of how you open it so you don't, you know, damage the packaging here. But, you know, overall, I personally did not have a huge issue with this, but it's just not my favorite packaging from Criterion. But just be aware. Now, the standard Blu-ray has the standard clear case. So that's kind of interesting that they would make that choice. But yeah, you have this pretty strange digipack packaging for the 4K of Train Spotting. I definitely recommend it overall as a release if you can get past that packaging, because it is a fantastic film. And I think the special features are great. You learn a lot about Danny Boyle and a lot about his partnership with the producer and the screenwriter, for not only Train Spotting, but their first film together, Shallow Grave. So I definitely can recommend that title. So yeah, that's Train Spotting. Let's sort of peruse down here to what is coming up here pretty soon. The Heroic Trio Executioner is coming out on 4K. So that is a title that I plan to do a review on this channel. I'm super duper excited about that title with Michelle Yeoh. So I'm really looking forward to that one. A Fire is coming to Janus Contemporaries. You have Nothing But a Man, which is another fascinating title. It's coming out on Blu-ray. You have Raoul Walsh's The Roaring Twenties coming out on 4K, starring James Cagney and Humphrey Bogart. So that is a really exciting title. That is coming out on February the 27th. And then we get into March, which March starts off March the 12th with two releases, one being All the Beauty and the Bloodshed. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out. I've heard some pretty good things about it. I think it's like a documentary style film. So don't know much about it, but I am intrigued by it. And that cover is definitely speaking to me. And then The Devil and Daniel Webster, All That Money Can Buy, is also coming out that same day on March the 12th. We have The Runner coming out on the 19th. We have Lynch Oz, which is coming out on the 19th. Let me click on this real quick. I think this might be, is this a Janus Contemporaries title that is coming out on the 19th. I think this was just recently announced. Then we have Saint Omer coming out on March the 26th. And then we have To Die For, the Gus Van Sant film starring Nicole Kidman, coming out on 4K Ultra HD on March the 26th. So really excited about that. On 4K, we're getting upgrades of La Haine and Picnic at Hanging Rock in the month of April. We have this very fascinating title, Workmeister Harmonies, coming out on 4K Ultra HD. So this is a very interesting looking film. It's sort of an artistic, one of those art house type films. So I'm looking forward to checking that out, maybe in the July sale. I Am Cuba. I've heard great things about this one. It's coming out on Blu-ray. Dogfight is coming out at the end of April. So definitely excited about the titles that are coming out in March and April, as well as that Heroic Trio and the Executioners coming out in just a few days. So looking forward to that. So that brings us up to the month of May. What is coming out in the month of May? So we've got one title coming out on May the 7th. We've got a title coming out May the 14th. We've got a title coming out on the 21st. So one title for the 7th, 14th to 21st. And then to end the month, we've got two titles dropping on May the 28th, the day after Memorial Day. So let's go ahead and jump into the first of these titles. This is a title that's available on Tuesday, May the 7th. It is a story of Floating Weeds, two films by Yasuhiro Ozu. Now, this is an upgrade of titles that are DVD editions in the Criterion Collection. I'm not sure if they're part of an older box set or what have you. Let me know in the comments section if you're familiar with these particular titles. But Yasuhiro Ozu is a filmmaker that I have the deepest respect for. I just love his filmmaking style. He has a signature style of filmmaking where he basically works with a fixed camera, and he just sort of frames up a scene, and you have characters moving in and through through that frame. He doesn't move the camera a lot, so you don't see sweeping camera movements. You just see a static frame, and all the action is going on in that frame, and people are coming in and out of that frame, and he tells a story in that way. And I find his storytelling and his characters very engaging, very up close and personal. And you definitely feel the heart and soul of his characters. And I think that one of the best examples of that heart and soul feeling is a film called Tokyo Story that is in the collection. This is regarded by many as being one of the greatest films of all time. This is from Yasuhiro Ozu, as Spy Number 217, the Criterion Collection. This was based off of a new digital restoration from a 4K film transfer. And I tell you what, future 4K upgrades, this would be a wonderful, wonderful one to consider if for Criterion. I would love to see them upgrade this one to 4K, but that's part of my wish list. But these titles, A Story of Floating Weeds from 1934 and Floating Weeds from 1959, are coming out on May the 7th on Blu-ray and DVD. So let me just read this a little bit. It says, in 1959, Yasuhiro Ozu remade his 1934 silent classic, A Story of Floating Weeds, in color with celebrated cinematographer Kazuo Miyagawa. Setting his later version in a seaside location, Ozu otherwise preserves the details of his elegantly simple plot, wherein an aging actor returns to a small town with his troupe and reunites with his former lover and their son, a scenario that enrages his current mistress and results in heartbreak for all. So basically, you have this original film from 1934 in black and white, and he remade it and 25 years later in 1959. So these are two films from Yasuhiro Ozu: 4K digital master of Floating Weeds, high definition digital master of A Story of Floating Weeds. You have an audio commentary for A Story of Floating Weeds, and for Floating Weeds by film critic Roger Ebert. Okay. A trailer. So you don't get a ton of features with this. You do get an essay from Richie, but not a ton of features. These are just, two films from one of the great Japanese filmmaking masters, Yasuhiro Ozu. Basically, him remaking one of his former films. Sort of, it kind of has that feeling of, Hitchcock with, The Man Who Knew Too Much, his 1934 film that he remade, I think in 1955 with James Stewart and Doris Day. That I need to actually see in this 4K set I think I have up here. I need to watch that updated version of The Man Who Knew Too Much, or finish watching it. But yeah, this is a fascinating looking set. It's going to MSRP at $39.95. So on Blu-ray, and $29.95 on DVD. So you do get a Blu-ray and DVD option. And this is a Blu-ray upgrade over, I believe, the former or the DVD versions of these films that are currently in the collection. So let me see real quickly here if there's existing spine numbers. I presume they were part of a former set, but I just don't know what spine number they were before. Oh, yes, spine number 232. Excuse me, right here, 232. So this is an upgrade of spine 232 in the Criterion Collection. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section about these Ozu films and what some of your favorite films are from Yasuhiro Ozu. So yeah, great director. Now, on to the next week, May the 14th, 2024. We're getting our sole 4K title of the month, and it is a title that I have been hearing rumored to come to the Criterion Collection, and now the rumors are over. We officially have an announcement for Peeping Tom, the 1960 film from Michael Powell. So Michael Powell is no stranger to the Criterion Collection. This is his 1960 film that sort of takes a different tone than some of his previous films. It goes in sort of a more of a dark territory is what this Peeping Tom film is going into. So it says, having brought British cinema into exalted realms of fantasy and imagination, Michael Powell took a dark detour into obsession, voyeurism, and violence with this groundbreaking meta-cinematic investigation into the mechanics of fear. Armed with his killer camera, photographer and filmmaker Mark Lewis, played by Carl Bohm, unleashes the traumas of his childhood by murdering women and recording their deaths until he falls for his downstairs neighbor and finds himself struggling against his dark compulsions. So it sounds like Mark has definitely got some issues. And this is a title I've heard pretty good things about. A lot of fascination around this release. This is a upgrade of an existing release in the Criterion Collection. This is spine number 58. I think I said 38 earlier. This is actually spine number 58 in the Criterion Collection. And I think it was a former DVD. I don't think this came to Blu-ray, but double check me in the comments on that. But in this case, we're getting a 4K Ultra HD. We're getting a Blu-ray option, new 4K digital restoration with an uncompressed monaural soundtrack. We are getting this on a 4K disc with Dolby Vision HDR, and the Blu-ray has the film and special features. 2 audio commentaries, which is cool, an introduction by Martin Scorsese. Of course, Martin Scorsese is a huge fan of Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger. He is a huge fan of their film together, The Red Shoes. This is Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger, their masterpiece from 1948, The Red Shoes. So this is a film that came out a dozen years before this film here. And this is an absolute fantastic film starring Maura Shear. Just a wonderful film. This is the 4K edition that I highly recommend, as well as another film that is from this filmmaking duo, Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger, Black Narcissus. This is spine number 93 in the collection. So definitely consider those as well. The Red Shoes is spine number 44 in the Criterion Collection. But yeah, this is Peeping Tom, and it's got some pretty nice looking features. You have an interview with editor Thelma Schoonmaker. So you're getting Martin Scorsese and Thelma Schoonmaker on this release. So that's definitely strong stuff there. You get a documentary about the film's history, featuring interviews with Schoonmaker, Scorsese, and actor Carl Bohm. The documentary about the screenwriter, a program on the film's restoration. I always love seeing like how they did the restoration on these releases. So there's probably a fascinating story there. And you get a trailer and then an essay by Megan Abbott. So yeah, looks like an interesting cover. I really dig this cover. Let me know what y'all think of that cover. But you can kind of see that this guy appears to have some issues. Got some stuff going on. Let's take a little bit of look at this trailer here.
Look out! Look out! Look out! Take care. You are being watched. We repeat, take care, for you are now alone with a killer. We warn you, don't let him see the fear in your eyes. For this is what he seeks, and this is why he kills.
Where are you?
Okay. Peeping Tom. So for those of you who've seen this, let me know in the comments. Let us know in the comments what you think about Peeping Tom. So that is coming out on May the 14th, and it's available on 4K Blu-ray as well as Blu-ray. So there's no DVD option that is offered here. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to come out and I'm going to see what y'all think about these couple of titles that have been announced. Well, a couple of these titles that we've gone all over so far. And let's see. Where are we? Where did we go here? Let's see. All right. Hey, James, which Best Picture nominees are you rooting for? In case you ask, my money is on Poor Things. You know, I have not seen all the Best Picture nominees, but my prediction is that Oppenheimer will win Best Picture, and I will be very happy with that, with the possibility of a dark horse upset from Past Lives. So my pick for Best Picture is Oppenheimer, probably 90%, with a 10% possibility that Past Lives sneaks in there and wins Best Picture. I would be very pleased with either of those winning Best Picture, for sure. But I need to see some of the other nominees. I'm not high on the Anatomy of a Fall cover personally, but the Peeping Tom cover is elite. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree. I've seen a lot of movies, and somehow Ozu is still a blind spot for me. Got to rectify soon with Tokyo Story. Yeah, Tokyo Story, folks. Tokyo Story is, when you look at like BFI and all Sight and Sound, you know, top 100 films of all time. This film is like in the top 10, top 5. It is one of the greatest films ever made. It's just an amazing film. It's just a fantastic movie. Peeping Tom is a must buy. Okay. Well, I definitely plan to get it. It looks intriguing. I like the premise of it. It looks intriguing. And yeah, I'm definitely excited about that 4K release. I saw Peeping Tom last October, and I highly recommend it. See, I'm hearing more good things about Peeping Tom. Thelma Schoonmaker was married to Michael Powell. That's right. Yes. Yes, perfect. Love that connection. Thank you for that reminder. Oh, yes, I've heard of Peeping Tom. Morishira is also in Peeping Tom. Thank you. Okay, good to know. Yeah, oftentimes, you have directors working with actors in multiple films. We see that, quite a bit. So I think it's going to be Oppenheimer will win with maybe a holdovers upset. Yeah, there's always a possibility of an upset. The way I see the Oscars playing out, I think it's going to be director Christopher Nolan. I think it's going to be Oppenheimer, Best Picture. I think that either Giamatti or Cillian Murphy will win actor. I think Robert Downey Jr. is as much of a lock to win Best Supporting Actor as the fact that he played Iron Man. I mean, that is going to happen. Um, and beyond that, I don't really know. I do expect Oppenheimer to win multiple awards, to win some technical awards in addition to some of those big prizes. And I think it's going to be a very interesting Oscar night. All right, so let's continue on here, shall we? Let's proceed with the last three of these titles on this wonderful journey that we're on here together. So that was Peeping Tom. So now we're going to go to the next title from Osman Sembin. We're getting three revolutionary films by Senegalese African director Osman Sembin, who is a fascinating filmmaker, I must say. There's a couple of titles of his that I have in the collection, and they are right here. They are Black Girl and Mandabi. Black Girl is spine 852 and Mandabi is spine 1065. These are both excellent releases. If you're thinking about, hey, what are some titles to think about for the flash sale? In addition to my flash sale recommendations that I put up recently on this channel, check it out if you haven't seen it. These are two more recommendations. This is another one right here, Tokyo Story. These two Powell and Pressburger films are, so I'm giving you some more recommendations for the flash sale. But yeah, for Osman Sembin, he is often called the father of African cinema. And these two films here, both from the 1960s, Black Girl from 1966 and Mandabi from 1968, are two absolutely wonderful additions from Criterion that I highly, highly recommend. We're getting three films from the 1970s from Osman Sembin here. But another note on Sembin is a title that you may not be thinking about. That's also a recommendation for an upcoming sale. And that's Visions of 8. So these are 9 directors that are listed here that contributed to this particular Olympics film that's called Visions of 8. It's the 1972 Munich Games. And each of these directors covered an aspect of the games and put their own artistic flair to it. Now, you may wonder, what does Osman Sembin have to do with it? Well, it's called Visions of 8, but originally, I think they called in 10 directors and told them to participate in this project. Osman Sembin was one of the directors who was called in, and for some reason, they did not use his particular film. So you see him in this picture here. You see Osman Sembin in this picture. He was included in this production, but his film ultimately did not make it. So it ended up being Visions of 8 versus being Visions of 9 or Visions of 10. But this is another fantastic release from Criterion that I highly recommend, along with Tokyo Olympiad. Those Olympic films from Criterion are just, or that Criterion has put out, are just absolutely fantastic releases. And this is a great one. And it's in keeping with Paris 2024. The Summer Olympics are coming. So definitely think about that. But these here are 3 revolutionary films by Osman Sembin. Says here, having blazed a trail for African filmmakers to tell their own stories on screen, Senegalese auteur Osman Sembin took his career-long project to unlock cinema's potential as a vehicle for social change in increasingly urgent and provocative directions in the 1970s, my favorite decade of cinema. Searing critiques of colonialism, political corruption, patriarchal arrogance, and religious indoctrination, his 3 features from this decade, the radical call to resistance Imitai, the wickedly subversive satire Zala, and the controversial historical epic Sado, confirmed his standing as a fearless truth teller for whom the camera was the ultimate weapon in the fight against oppression in all its forms. So you see here what the set looks like. Looks like a fascinating set. This is one of those just fascinating collector sets. It's available on Blu-ray, 3 discs for an MSRP of $99.95 or $100. So it'll be $50 on the 50% off sales. Currently on sale on the Criterion site for pre-order at $80. DVD option is available as well. So you get this option on Blu-ray and DVD. You get a disc for each of the films. You have Imitai from 1971, Zala from 1975, and Sato from 1977. This is coming out on May the 21st. You're getting new 4K digital restorations of all 3 of these films, the uncompressed binaural soundtrack, new conversation between Mahan Bonetti, who's the founder and executive director of the African Film Festival, and film writer Amy Saul. You get the making of Seto, which is a 1981 documentary, and you get new English subtitles and an essay by film scholar Yasmina Price. So not a ton of features here, but you do get these 3 films from the Senegalese auteur of cinema, and you're getting new 4K digital restorations of these films. So that is something to keep in mind. Hope y'all can look past my voice here. I'm sort of a bit under the weather, so got a little bit of flu action going on here, but I'm powering through it. But I really dig this cover. I mean, you have these 3 films by Osman Sembin. You see the African continent. You see sort of a picture of Sembin or a drawing of Sembin, artwork of his likeness. You see the 3 films listed below. Just a beautiful looking cover there. But again, you have a Blu-ray and a DVD option, and it is coming in as new spine number 1217 in the Criterion Collection. So definitely keep this one in mind from director Osman Sembin. Then we come to the last Tuesday of the month of May, May the 28th, Tuesday, May 28th, and we're getting 2 titles from 2 new filmmakers in the collection. So these are 2 filmmakers who are entering the collection for the first time. This first film is a contemporary film that came out last year. It's called Anatomy of a Fall. It is from Justine Truett, and it is a film that I've heard good things about. I read the summary here, and I like the premise. It says, the closer we look, the less we know. In Justine Truett's masterful Palme d'Or winning Anatomy of a Fall, an eerily riveting courtroom thriller that examines the line where truth becomes fiction and fiction becomes truth. When Sandra Voiter, a transfixing Sandra Hüller, a writer who turns the material of her life into autofiction, is put on trial for the suspicious death by defenestration, or was it suicide, of her husband. It opens up an inquiry that will turn a troubled home inside out, tapping into the minimalist intensity of a chamber drama and using intricate elliptical editing. I like that, elliptical. Uh, when I go to the gym, I usually get on the elliptical, but I think this is talking about something a little bit different, elliptical editing. Triet constructs a mystery that is ultimately less about a death than about the hidden lives we lead. So yeah, I mean, this cover is, I kind of dig it. I like the little like blood here on the, the letters. It's all right. It's coming in spine 1218, so a new title in the collection. This is a new director in the collection. It's available on Blu-ray and DVD, so a Blu-ray and DVD option here. It's a 2K digital master with a 5.1 surround soundtrack. You get a new interview with director Justine Triet, get deleted and alternate scenes with a commentary by Triet, and we get audition footage. Okay, so it's pretty light on the features. This is a brand new film. It is from France, from 2023. It comes in at 151 minutes, so it's about 2.5 hour movie, and it is in French and English. And then again, new spine number 1218 in the collection, available on Blu-ray and DVD. So looks to be a fascinating film.
I just want you to know one thing. I'm not a monster.
Okay. Well, I certainly hope you're not a monster. So that's a really interesting premise. It makes you kind of wonder, okay, did she or didn't she, right? And is that part of what they're driving for in this film, is the mystery of that. So I'm looking forward to diving into that. This is a title that I will likely pick up on in the July sale. So we shall see. So then we get to the last title of the month. And it is a title that stars Michelle Rodriguez. It is called Girl Fight, uh, from Corinne Kusama. So this is Girl Fight from Corinne Kusama. And it is bullied by her father at home and feeling adrift at school. Diana Guzman, Michelle Rodriguez, finds refuge in an unexpected pocket of her native Brooklyn, a time-worn boxing gym where she learns to channel her strength, discovers a sense of community, and falls for a rival fighter. In Corinne Kusama's raw, understated feature debut, Rodriguez commands the screen with both tightly coiled intensity and deep wells of vulnerability as a young woman hitting back at society's expectations and her own personal demons, capturing the full emotional weight of Diana's journey and the kinetic thrill of bodies in motion. Kusama crafts a singularly uncompromising story of self-realization. So this is Girl Fight, Michelle Rodriguez. Of course, I know Michelle Rodriguez from, of course, the wonderful Academy Award worthy Fast and Furious films. I'm kidding about the Academy Award worthy, but yeah, from the Fast and Furious films, which is a franchise that hopefully will be wrapping up here with this last film. I think it's about run out of gas. But yeah, so we know her from that series, and this is one of the early films that she starred in. This is right around the time when the Fast and Furious films started, around the year 2000. So this is around that same period. This is a new spine number, 1219. And in this case, you want to note that this is only on Blu-ray so far, based on what we see on the site. This is coming out on May 28th, and only Blu-ray is showing as an option. It is coming with a new 4K digital restoration that's supervised by the director, and it's getting a 5.1 surround HD master audio soundtrack. It's getting an audio commentary featuring the director, getting an essay by author Carmen Maria Machado. So that is cool. But yeah, this is Corinne Kusama. So I will show this particular filmmaker. We'll show this filmmaker here so you can see who this is. Of course, this is the IMDb. Oh, share this tab instead. So you should be seeing my IMDb tab here. Hopefully. Yeah. I'm on IMDb. I went to Girl Fight, and I'm going to click on this is Corinne Kusama, the director of Girl Fight. So this is the new filmmaker entering the collection, one of the new filmmakers, Corinne Kusama. These are some of the other films that she has done. So she's known for Girl Fight, Yellow Jackets, a TV series, Destroyer, The Invitation. So yeah, this is Corinne Kusama. And then I'm also going to show, going back here to Anatomy of a Fall. Let's just take a look at, I love IMDb. Whenever I have a question about a movie or a TV series, I go to IMDb, baby. Anatomy of a Fall. Here we go. The Palme d'Or winning film from Justine Triet. And this is Justine Triet right here. So yeah, what do y'all think of Justine Triet's films? This is the director of Anatomy of a Fall. She's also known for Sybil, Age of Panic, and Two Ships. These are other films in her filmography as director. But this is Justine Triet. So Justine Triet and Cameron Kusama are the new directors in the collection. Both of their films are coming out May the 28th on Criterion on Blu-ray. One film is from 2023, a current film, and the other film is from the year 2000, starring the Fast and Furious series, Michelle Rodriguez. So I'm excited about both of those titles. But let me go back out here and let me get these last comments and do a wrap up and get y'all to the rest of your Thursday evening as we get ready for Friday and the weekend. All right. Gotta let's see, where do we leave off? Ooh, man, I gotta go back here. Uh, okay. So the Simbin cover is the best of the month, in my opinion. No argument here. I think it's a fantastic cover. Just beautiful, beautiful. I already ordered Peeping Tom on 4K. Yeah, is was that Second Sight or who did the other one? I don't know. Yeah, Sam Ben is going to be a must buy for me. I don't blame you. Osman Sam Ben, just a wonderful filmmaker. Again, I highly recommend Black Girl and Mandabi, both fantastic releases already in the collection. Highly recommended. But I'd love to see more Sam Ben coming in. James, what's up? What's up, Laren? I'm trying to get over this cold. I got to pop another dose of this medicine when I get off this call here. But yeah, I'm hanging in there, hanging in there. Just stuff just flying in the air. People catch things, but I'll give it a few more days and get some fluids in me, and I'll be right as rain. People hate this cover art in my opinion. Okay, not sure which cover you're speaking of. Anatomy of Fall is a great film. I've heard good things about it. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Anatomy of Fall is great. Thanks, Holland. People saying hello to one another. People saying hey to each other. Anatomy of Fall is great, says Jordo. I wonder if Criterion has dibs on Palme d'Or winners. Second year in a row, they've gotten the wonder of that prize. Triangle of Sadness coming last year. Yeah, Triangle of Sadness is one that I still haven't gotten yet because I've heard mixed things about it. I gotta maybe try it out at some point. Let's see. I believe this is Michelle Rodriguez's debut. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's from 2000, so it's probably right before she appeared in Fast and Furious. Holland, people saying hello. Jordo, people saying hey to one another. Need to watch Love Lies Bleeding for some serious sapphic thriller. Queen Muscle. Okay, interesting. Okay, that's an interesting description there. Laren, what's up? And then people saying hello to one another. Hello, everyone. I still have at least 30 criterions I haven't been looked at. Just watched Miller's Crossing. Finally, it was wonderful. Wonderful. Good. Yeah, honestly, I need to rewatch Miller's Crossing because to be honest with you, what I saw, I just wasn't, maybe I wasn't in the right mood for it. I've heard great things about it. So I need to give it another watch and go through it. Because I just wasn't feeling it when I started watching it a few months ago. But I'll give it another chance. Hey JD, hello. I had no idea Kusama did Girl Fight. I loved the invitation. Oh, cool. Hey, Larry. People saying hey to one another. Studio Canal did Peeping Tom 4K with a rather bland original art. Okay. I understand. But yeah, let me go back here and let's just do a quick little recap. Let's just do a quick little recap, you know, of what we have here. I think this is a fantastic slate for the month of May. I can tell you that I am definitely interested in this Ozu set. This is one, will I pick it up immediately? Probably not. But I definitely see myself getting this in 2024, either in the July sale or the November sale. That is almost a definite. Peeping Tom, I will probably get in the month of May and do a review on this channel. I will probably pick this up on day one because I'm looking forward to checking out this new 4K release. Osman Sembin, these three films from him, I definitely plan to pick up probably in the July sale. Anatomy of a Fall is another title that I may go ahead and pick up in the month of May and do a review in June on this channel. And then Girl Fight is a title that I'm also interested in that I will likely pick up in the July or November sale. So for me, I see myself getting all of these titles. I'm interested in every one of them. It's just a matter of there's some that are sort of more the top of my list to get immediately, like Peeping Tom on 4K, probably Anatomy of a Fall, and the other three I'll get either during the July or November Barnes and Noble sale, or maybe even the October 24-hour flash sale if we have one. So speaking of a 24-hour flash sale, I'm hearing that we could potentially have one coming up. So just be able to look out for that. If it happens, I will certainly put an announcement out on this channel, and definitely check out my recommendations video that I put out a few days ago of, I think, 12 titles that I recommend for this upcoming 24-hour flash sale. But yeah, so that's my take on these titles. I'm going to stop sharing, come out and get these last few comments, and then we're going to put this thing to bed so we can get ready for another epic weekend. I enjoyed the Super Bowl, the last part of it, but I'm really happy the Super Bowl is over, because as much as I love football, I'm ready to have a little bit of a break from football, and I'm going into a weekend with no football. I'm totally good with that. I can kind of focus on other things. I can focus on maybe finishing this Arrow video title here, Fear is the Key. Right here. Can also get fully caught up on True Detective Night Country before the final episode this Sunday. So, yeah, I've got a little bit of catching up to do. Next criteria for me will be Revanche. Oh, another recommendation for a flash sale, folks. Revanche, fantastic film. Now, you want to talk about a film, a release that I would love to see a 4K upgrade for? I would be all over that. Revanche is fantastic. Check it out. I have always wanted to see Peeping Tom. I heard that it ruined that director's career for being ahead of his time. Wow. I feel like they usually do the sale when a big release is coming, but I can't figure out what upcoming releases they could be timing that with. Yeah, some are saying it could be this Tuesday, the 20th. We shall see. Don't know. But as soon as we get official word, we'll keep you updated. Hey, Mr. KB, how are you doing? James, same here. I'm in for all these titles. I might wait on Peeping Tom because of the recent Studio Canal import. Okay, sounds good. Hope you're doing well, Mr. KB. Peeping Tom, intriguing for me too, along with Tokyo Story. Yes, definitely get Tokyo Story. And that's one that I am wondering, is that going to get a 4K release at some point? Because I would love to see that get a 4K release. Great cover art on that. On which one? Which one, Professor? Oh, Peeping Tom? Yeah. I think you mean Peeping Tom. Yeah, I agree. I think the Osman Sembin, great cover. The Peeping Tom's a great cover. I like the girl fight cover. Yeah, I mean, the covers are pretty strong this month. Peeping Tom is 100% slasher film, one of the best, one of the first, I think. Okay. And Jordo saying hey to KB. I'll say hello to KB as well again. Hope you are doing well. Let's see. Recently appreciated your summary of how Criterion does upgrades in your recent video, James. James helped a lot. Oh, okay. Oh, well, I certainly, again, take it with a grain of salt. Is sort of my unscientific take. As people are thinking about, okay, should I get this Blu-ray? Could Criterion upgrade to a 4K? Anything is possible. General rule of thumb, based on what I've seen, is that if the Blu-ray came out within the last 3 years, probably less of a chance that a Criterion 4K will come anytime soon. Nothing's guaranteed. We don't know for sure, but based on the trends that we've seen, that would seem to be the case. Let's see. The one you showed us with the car. Oh, Fear is the Key. Yes, this Arrow. Yeah, you know what? And you know what I love about Arrow? I know this is a Criterion stream, but I also love Arrow video. I love that Arrow offers the reversible art. So I always do the reversible, like, on the disc. I mean, on the on the case. I love that. Love it. I'm still watching Fear is the Key, trying to form my thoughts on it. Um, it's not quite grabbing me the way I'd hoped, but I'm trying to give it a chance. But I still need to finish the film. I've only seen like a third of it so far, so I need to stick with it. See, KB saying hello to Jordo. I'm a weirdo, but that loves a good spreadsheet rundown, especially when it comes to physical media. I'm a spreadsheet junkie as well. I am a bit of a nerd in that regard, so I'm with you. Yes, says Professor. I rewatched Ace in the Hole today. So good. That is another one that I would love to see get a 4K upgrade. That is a fantastic film starring Kirk Douglas. What a great film from Billy Wilder. Ace in the Hole. So good. So good. Well, folks, thank you for joining tonight. I hope that you enjoyed this reaction, and it was great to hear what you all think about these titles. These are going to be new discoveries for me, and so I'm always interested to hear from you what you think about these movies. It helps me in making my decision about what titles to pick up. But I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday night. Hope you have a great Friday coming up. Put a nice big red bow, a nice big red Valentine's week bow on the week, and get ready to head into the weekend. And I hope you enjoy everything that you get into. And we'll look to see you next time at the movies. Peace. Hope you all have a great night.